Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. All right. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Princess of Swords to start us out. All right, we're going to put that into some context. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. And interesting with the air energy here. A lot of air going on right there. Oh, but we see a lot of air. Let's do our mystery card first before we get into all this air energy. We're going to select one card randomly from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And that's going to go right there. We'll put the little horse right on top. And we're not going to look at that until the very end. And hopefully that will, tie everything together, give us the confirmation that we need. Okay, now let's take a look at this because we have air, 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 and air. We've got some water. We've got some earth. That's pretty much it. A couple of major arcanas. We got a little bit of fire with this Emperor energy. I think this is going to be our saving grace. I think this is really this is going to be the big power source of the reading, because I feel like there's this choice that you're being asked to make right now. We have this Lover's card right in the middle. So let's take these two cards, the Princess of Swords and this Lover's energy. Right? Because you know what, that Lover's card, that's you. That's your card, right? The Lover's rules the sign of Gemini. So this is very special. I think that this is really showing that it's your time to shine. I think really great things are happening for you right now, okay? But I think that there's a choice we have to make, and I feel like we're kind of reluctant to make this choice. I feel like you're kind of a reluctant hero. You're kind of someone who is, it's like you've won the jackpot, but you kind of don't want to accept it right now. That sounds totally nuts to me. But I'm getting that feeling, like we were being asked to accept something or to allow this to happen because you really deserve it, because you need to get the heck out of this, out of all this air energy. I mean, look at this air. We see some air over here that shows that even when we accept this Wheel of Fortune, right? Major Arcana card. We have this really nice kind of trifecta of major Arcana cards, right? Emperor, Wheel of Fortune, and then of course you, Gemini, the Lover's card. So we've got a nice kind of trinity of major Arcana. And I feel like even in the midst of all of this wonderful energy, you're still air, you're still kind of not sure, rejecting it, kind of maybe a little self-deprecating, maybe a little feeling of feeling undeserving in a way. Maybe some of you. But let's go back here. First, we see this Princess of Swords. I think this is you right now. And this is someone who is trying to reject something. This is almost politely declining, Somebody offers you something. Would you like? No, thank you. You want something more to eat? No, thank you. I'm full. But if they keep insisting, we get more and more and more defensive, right? We just kind of, we try to still say no. We might have to get a little bit louder, a little bit more firm in our denial or our polite rejection. But I feel like Spirit just keeps offering it to you like, no, you really want to take this, and you're just, no, thank you, no, thank you. And interestingly, then we also have, of course, the Knight of Swords. So it keeps, maybe we should hold them like this. the offer keeps coming to you, and you keep rejecting it. See, just that's at the top. This is what's kind of flying down above you, and you're doing battle with it, right? Hopefully you can see the cards here and the way that this one's swooping down, and then you're just kind of trying to fight it off. So it feels like something we don't want. It feels like something that is just going to disrupt our lives because, look, 10 of Cups, 10 of Swords. We're surrounded by what we think is the best things can get, right? We're caught up in our beliefs. We have this mental structure, this system, this paradigm that we live in that we feel is perfect. We have this 10 of Cups. We feel like all of our desires are fulfilled. Everything that we want this is the way it is. It's almost like we're just kind of comfortable in life right now. But this message keeps swooping in, right? This is something really headed your way, and you're ready to fight it off. You're ready to just reject it outright and just say, no, I don't want it, right? But I think we've got to reevaluate that choice. This is that Lover's card, and this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a romantic thing. Like, I can see how this maybe is like a romantic partner trying to communicate with you, trying to convince you to go on a date or something. I don't know if people still go on dates or not. But it feels like it could be somebody coming in that's persistent, that's trying to communicate with you and trying to get through to you. And we're rejecting that energy. But I kind of don't want to take it so literally that it's just like, well, this is the perfect partner for you, and as much as you try to play hard to get, or you're trying to be coy, or you're trying to reject that person, that ultimately they're your soulmate and you guys are going to get together. It's not a romantic comedy. I mean, maybe it is. If it's resonating that way for you, fine. I don't know that it's necessarily a romance. Okay, we don't see a lot of water energy here, other than this 10 of Cups, which to me is saying that we've had our fill. We don't really need anything else. Thank you, but no thank you. This is like when you're at a dinner party and the host says, would you like some more dessert? And I couldn't eat another bite, right? That's the 10 of Cups. But I'm almost wondering if we're hungry for something different, right? We don't want any more of what you're offering. But I think Spirit's offering you something different, I think we're at this dinner party and we already know what kind of food is there and we don't want any more of it. I've had enough broccoli. I've had enough of the mashed potatoes. No thanks. But we might be hungry for something else. Maybe we'll go to a different dinner party. Maybe we'll stop and get something on the ride home. You know what I mean? I'm kind of feeling that way about it, especially when we talk about this 10 of Swords, because this is us getting out of this structure that we're in. We're getting out of this current dinner party. We're realizing that, hey, I am still hungry, just not for what they were serving there, right? And I feel like that's kind of the choice that we have to make, or the realization that we have to come to, that yes, I still am yearning, I still am desiring. There is more that I do still want. I just didn't want what they had. I didn't want what I thought was everything that was here. It could be that we're limited in our view, right? Especially with the 10 of Swords. This is getting out of a limited view. We may think that the only food that exists is what's right here in this room, at this dinner party, or in this restaurant, right? But obviously, right? That's a dumb example, but we know that's not true. So we're getting out of this limited view where we think only what we're already familiar with, that's all there is. That there isn't anything higher or different or better, or that might fulfill you more. So this message that's coming in, I feel like this air energy is trying to get your attention, and I think it really is coming from this Emperor and mostly this Wheel of Fortune. I think this is the real jackpot here. I think your future really has the potential to be amazing, because this is almost like this is a different table altogether, right? This is the divine table, right? You're at a completely different dinner party now, But this card's in the position of what you don't want, and I don't mean to jump around so much between cards, but this is in the position of what you don't want, and I feel like it's just because we're rejecting it. We're thinking it's just going to be the same old what I'm used to. I don't want it. No, thank you. So we're the Princess of Swords. Now, Princess of Swords is not all that skilled in the sword fighting, right? I mean, it's a page, it's a princess, it's someone who's just starting out, just started their training. So it could be this idea that we already know everything, but the training begins when you realize your own ignorance, right? And that, I think, is important. That's a reason why this is a page or a princess and not some other air energy. Because this is that assumption that we know everything, or that we already know what's being offered to us, and we know that we wouldn't care for any more. No, thank you. So I think that this is part of the issue right now, is getting out of this mindset, getting out of this restrictive way of thinking. And the Lover's card is doing just that. It's saying that, look, we have to be willing to say yes, right? You're at this kind of this mystical marriage, this alchemical wedding kind of thing. And the idea here is that you're saying yes. You're saying yes to spirit. You're saying no to all of this familiar stuff that you've had enough of and you don't want any more of it, right? So to me, it feels like a life-changing thing. This is the commitment now to accept what the universe is offering you and go after it, do it. Live the rest of your life. Now, I don't know what this is exactly going to manifest as. I think it's going to be different for different people. For some of you, it might be an offer for a new job, or an offer for a promotion. For others, it could be an offer of contributing your artistic talents somewhere. For some of you, I think this Emperor energy is really going to be important, because this could be the opportunity for you to really step up and take charge. Maybe someone in your company or whatever you're involved with is asking you to step up and take charge of something. Maybe the Emperor here is the opportunity you have to be in control of this company, this project, this department, right? This business, whatever it is, you don't want to do it. It's like someone wants to put you in charge of something. You say, okay, no, I'm not falling for that, because that's going to be, the fall guy or gal. That's going to be the scapegoat. You put me in charge, and then when things go wrong, I'll get blamed. No, thank you. So it's this defensive kind of thing. It's this rejection of whatever the opportunity is. And I think it's the Wheel of Fortune, right? I think this is the opportunity, and we'll get to this card in a minute. But I think it's something that you have to take control of. It's something that you are going to have to, be in charge of, be responsible for. Yeah, it is going to be on you if things don't really work out, right? It's kind of, you're being asked perhaps to not only attend a different dinner party, but you're going to be responsible for making all the food. Using this metaphor of a dinner party, you can tell I probably haven't had lunch yet. You're being invited to another dinner party, but it's your dinner party, right? You're in charge. You have to set the table. You have to cook the food. You have to send out the other invitations. It's all on you. If it's a disaster, it's all on you, okay? But what this opportunity is now, we've got this Six of Pentacles down here. So let's take a breath and let's look at this, because this, again, it's kind of one of these cards that it's circular, kind of looks like a table, right? Just like the Wheel of Fortune. I think this is a different kind of dinner party. I think this is a different kind of table. To me, this feels like an organization of some kind, some sort of cooperative effort. It feels like you would be at the center of this, but or you would be in charge of this. You would be the one that puts it all together. You're kind of you're the boss, right? But it's a situation where everybody is equal. You know, the thing about a round table is that there's nobody at the head of the table, right? All seats are equal. But you're still the one who's kind of behind it all. You're still the authority, the emperor. Even when the emperor sits at a round table, everybody's going to know who the emperor is, right? It's like King Arthur's round table. It's meant to show that everyone is equal, but you still know who King Arthur is, right? He's still pretty recognizable even at the round table. So I feel like this is some kind of a collaboration, a group thing, could be a family thing. And it's something that you ultimately have wanted. It's down here beneath everything. It's kind of an unconscious thing. You want everybody in this situation to be equal. You don't really want to be the leader. I understand that. But you want everybody to kind of have their place. You want everybody, maybe literally, you're trying to get, or you're not trying to get, but you would like for everybody to just come back to the table, right? Maybe it's a family thing. Maybe it's a work thing. Maybe it's your friends. Everybody sitting around the same table, maybe literally, maybe figuratively, would be a really good thing. So underneath it all, I think that's what you want. But we're rejecting any opportunity. We're rejecting any kind of discussion of this because we're just saying, no, I know what it's like. I've been there before. It's going to just be another failure. It's just going to be another disaster. We've got the Three of Swords here in the environment. I think you've been in a situation like this before. Someone has maybe maybe there was an invitation to something, and you went ahead and did it, and it was a disaster. So now when this same invite comes again, you're thinking, no, I don't want it. I'm not even going to open the envelope because I've been there before. I know how these things turn out, right? And you're certainly not going to be the one to put the whole thing together and plan it and cook all the food and orchestrate it or organize it, because then it's going to be even more of a disaster because everything's going to be on you. And when it is a disaster, who's going to be blamed, right? So I don't know if this is something business related or if it's a family thing. It kind of has that family vibe to me, to be honest with you. And that would work well with this lover's energy too, because the lover's energy is, many times I find that it's about bringing things closer together, whether it's you and a potential lover or life partner or something, or if it's with the family, right? To me, this card really is about bringing the right things together in a union, So I think maybe you do have aspirations or wishes or still this kind of unconscious desire. Yeah, it would be nice if everyone could come together, sit down at the same table and either have a discussion or have a meal or fix the problems, right? Whatever they are. But in order for us to do that, in order for you to do that, I feel like we have to kind of get out of this Princess of Swords mindset, and we have to realize that there is possibilities outside of what we're already familiar with, what we've already experienced, what we already know. There's a lot more going on, And I guess that's going to bring us now over to the path of the Serpent. We've talked about the Emperor. We've talked about the Three of Swords. But now this Wheel of Fortune, this is sitting around the divine table, the holy table. This is the spiritual kind of implications of this. It's almost a feeling that you need to get through this for your own spiritual growth, whether or not it actually happens or it's just a disaster. I feel like there's a lot of growth that can take place here. Okay? So the Wheel of Fortune, it's in the position of what you don't want. And it seems like we're kind of rejecting We're rejecting the possibility that things could be different this time around, you know. But I really think this is your jackpot. This is your this is the future, and I think that the fact that we have this card now shows that there's like higher forces at work here. That maybe this time it is going to be something that transcends just the usual, typical, what you're already familiar with. The tens here, right? The tens are saying, we've done that enough times, I don't want to go through it again. But the Wheel of Fortune here, this is kind of saying that, hey, maybe the tables are turning, right? Maybe fortune's on your side now. Maybe Jupiter has some different things in store for you. And this could be something financial, right? I'm feeling like there's really, it's we almost like we have to spin the wheel again. And this time, don't worry. Every spot on the wheel is a jackpot now, you know? We could maybe be used to spinning the wheel, taking our chances, right? Gambling on this, saying, okay, I'll try it again. And we end up spinning the wheel, and it's this every time. It's failure, it's disaster, it's misery every time. But now I think Spirit is saying, don't worry, I've rigged the game in your favor. Just spin the wheel. Doesn't matter where it lands, it's going to be the jackpot, right? So I feel like we're rejecting that. I feel like we're just saying, no, I'm not buying it. I'm not falling for it again, you know. But this card really is a lot about trust. This card's a lot about faith and hope. And I feel like if we don't at least keep trying for this, then there's no way that it's going to actually happen, you know. But what do they say? You know, you're trying the same thing over and over again, but you're expecting different results. So we've got to do something a little bit differently this time. Yeah. We've got to, we can't just assume that because you got this one card in a tarot reading, that things are going to be different this time. Maybe this is a romantic relationship. And maybe this person's coming back, or maybe you're thinking about dating again, getting back out there, or, you know. But if we don't change, if something doesn't change, why should we expect it to be any different now? You know. But what's changing this time, I think, is you. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what we see here with this Lover's energy. I almost feel as if this air that we have is really important to this Lover's card right now. Because the air energy, I think, has been keeping us pretty restrained, restricted, right? We're just saying, I know what to expect, I'm not doing it anymore, and that's been keeping us kind of motionless. That's been keeping us stuck in the same position for a while now. That we're not trying anything new, because anytime we've made a move, it's resulted in this Three of Swords. So we're kind of stuck in this loop. And this loop, it's just got us really just stopped in our tracks. We're just saying, no, I'm not going to even do it again, right? We're refusing to act because we know how it's going to turn out. Yeah. But I think that's kind of a gambler's fallacy, right? Because the gambler says, well, if I got if there's a 1 in 10 chance of hitting the jackpot, well, I've already lost 9 times. So the next one has got to be the jackpot, right? No. Each time you spin the wheel, it's a 1 in 10 chance that you'll hit the jackpot. Right? So you're still 90% likely to fail every time you do it. But we can also reverse that kind of math. And I don't know if I have that exactly correct, but it's something like that. But we can say that I'm not going to spin the wheel because I know that, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a failure. And I know that if I spin it again, there's a 90% chance that it's just going to fail. So why would I take that risk? And that seems quite logical to me, right? so does the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, yeah, it doesn't make any sense to keep gambling when you know you're going to lose. Well, when you're 90% certain you're going to lose. So how do we get out of this kind of thinking? Because really, there's nothing inherently wrong with that kind of thinking, but it doesn't allow for any kind of progress. If you don't, what is it that Wayne Gretzky said? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So even though there's only that 10%, well, that's a 1 in 10 chance that this is going to be the time that it works, right? And that's just assuming all of the variables are exactly the same as they were. But they're not. Because it's a different day, it's a different time, it's a different... everything is different about this situation now. So, honestly, I don't really know what the details are here. It feels like family. It feels like something with a strong emotional tie, even though there's no water here, except for this just too much, overwhelming, I don't want any more of it. But I think that there's still a deep connection here. And I feel as if taking this risk one more time, even though, 90% likelihood that it's not going to be everybody coming around and sitting down at the table together. But maybe this is that one time. Maybe this is that 10%. Right? Maybe the mystery card will help us out. Because I feel like all this air, and I knew it as soon as all this air energy came out on the table, that we were going to be just locked up here. That at the end of the reading, we're just going to be like, we're still in the same place as where we started. We want this amazing future. We want this jackpot. But how do we know that this is going to be that 10% of the time, spin? How do we know this is going to be the one time out of 10 that it lands on jackpot? Well, I still think that Spirit has got the game rigged for you this time. That now it's 100% certain, and I don't know why that is. Maybe just because this card is here where we don't want that energy, right? This is the energy that we're kind of rejecting, but it kind of feels to me like this is the magic moment for it all. Let's see what the mystery card is. It's a 9 of Swords. More swords energy. More swords energy. It's so much air in this reading right now, Gemini. I feel like we are guaranteed 100% to regret not taking this chance. Right? Not spinning that wheel one more time. Maybe it's just a feeling. Maybe it's an intuition. Maybe it's just a little bit of that luck. Maybe there's a little bit of synchronicity right now. I feel like if we don't try, we're not going to get that jackpot. Right? So, are we doing more damage to ourselves by rejecting this? Because remember, we started out with this Princess of Swords saying, nope, I don't even want to open the door. I'm not even going to answer the phone. Don't even waste your breath. I'm not listening. Not going to happen. We're already guaranteeing more despair, right? We're guaranteeing that we're not going to succeed here because we're not even willing to entertain the possibility that things might be different this time. And I'm not saying that you have to allow any energy back into your life, right? If somebody has wronged you, if somebody has hurt you, you're under no obligation to let them back in thinking, well, maybe this time it'll be different. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you taking control, taking ownership, taking this as the opportunity for you to fulfill whatever it is, whatever the Six of Pentacles, whatever it is that you are longing for. Get back out there and find it, get it, take it. Work for it, manifest it. Because your jackpot's waiting for you, but we've got to spin the wheel. You got to pick some numbers here if we're gonna win. Otherwise, I think we are guaranteed to despair. We are guaranteed lamentation if we don't at least try. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, just click on the link up there. That'll give you access to every extended reading, not just Gemini, but for all signs. I want to thank you for being here and for taking this little journey with me. I really think this is the time for you. I really do. All of this air energy, I know it's just, it's keeping us here. It's cloudy, it's smoggy, it's confused, it's not very clear. But I feel like your future is amazing. We have to get out there and start manifesting it. I really think this jackpot is headed your way. I think that we are automatically rejecting it, and I feel like that's setting you up for continued despair here, you know. Anyway, thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.